This is the Real Estate Career Mentor Podcast with Marty Green, Episode 4. Hey everyone, welcome once again to the Real Estate Career Mentor Podcast. I'm Marty Green, and I'm here to deliver valuable information to you each and every session to help with your real estate business. Doesn't matter if you're a new agent or have been at it a while, there's always something we can do to take us to the next level in our real estate career. And today, I'm talking about databases and how to build them and what to be looking out for. And later in the quick tip, I've got a great application for you. If you're a Mac and a PC user, you're going to really love this. So just stick around and let's get to it. Okay, how's everyone doing out there? I have been sick as a dog the entire month of February. Oh my goodness, I've never been this sick in my life, not this long. I've been sick for 3 days here and there, maybe a week, usually a week when I get a cold throughout the winter, but I have not been sick like this before. I was down and out. Started with my nose, then moved into my lungs, down into my throat, coughing all the time. I may cough during this podcast, but it's been far too long, and I didn't want to wait any longer, so here we are. We got to get this out, keep this thing rolling, keep the momentum, so let's just go for it. Today we're talking about databases, something really, really important in your real estate career, if not the most important thing that you need to be focusing on. And I would suggest you be focusing on this daily. Your database, what does this mean to you? This is your lifeblood. This is a list of relationships that you have in your real estate career. Your business thrives depending on how well you keep in touch with your clients. And that's exactly what your database is. It's a list of relationships, it's a list of clients, and it's really important. Now, if you're just getting started, how do you build a database? What do I put in the database? What kind of information do I need on my clients when I'm building a database? And these are questions, we're going to answer these, and these are really important things to be thinking about. But before we do that, let's talk about referrals a second, because at the end of the day, that's the importance of our database. We're going into our database looking for business. We're looking to contact people, and hopefully they have people they've been talking to that can refer us some business. Now, don't make the mistake I made early on in my career. When I thought, well, a referral is, I sell something to somebody today, and 3 years later they're ready to move again, and they call me. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I have a relationship with you, and you were just at a party, maybe over the Christmas holidays, or something like that, and you say you were having a conversation and you were engaged, and it switched to real estate, and you brought up my name. You said, oh, you're thinking about making a move? You should talk to my agent, Marty. He's really great. And this is what I'm talking about with your database. You need to keep in contact with your entries in your database as much as you can. And I'm going to show you how much information we need to get this information so we can call our clients, stay in touch, and really deepen the relationship with our clients. Because if all we have is just business cards and we just put it into a database, and it really limits us to how we can contact these people. We don't have a really good relationship with them that way, if that's all we think of them as, just a business card and a contact. The technology is moving very quickly, and if you think about how much email you get, are you going to respond like you did 10, 15 years ago to email? When we used to get email 10, 15 years ago with offers, the click-through rate, the response rate was much, much higher. But today, that doesn't work anymore, not anywhere near the way it used to 10 years ago. So we need to deepen those relationships. We need to bring value to those people, and that's what I'm going to start with you today on how do we get the ball rolling, and it all starts with your database. So what I want you to think about, if you're a realtor that's been in business for quite some time, you should know your percentages. of referral business that you're getting from your database. And if you've got a database, I'll just throw out some round numbers, but if you've got a database of 100 people, you can expect anywhere, if you're doing a good job keeping in touch, you can expect anywhere from 5 deals to 15 deals throughout the year from your database. Just constantly keeping in touch with people and doing certain things, you can expect that kind of return. The top agents out there, they experience referral business, repeat and referral business anywhere from 60 to 90% of their business throughout the year is coming from their database, from repeat business, from referral business. So, with that in mind, you know, the top producers I've engaged with, they will share with me that you know repeat and referral business throughout the year accounts for much higher than 60%, closer to 90, between 80 and 90%. So the business that they're doing throughout the year, most of it is repeat and referral, and that's coming from their database. They're very good at staying in touch with their past clients. They're very good at staying in touch with people in their database. Maybe they haven't done business with certain people, but those people refer them all the time. They have a great relationship with them. And that's the way you got to think about your database. Maybe you have people in your database that are never going to move. Maybe they're happy where they are, but they know people. So you need to stay in touch with them regularly, constantly ask them for business and ask them if they know anybody that's thinking about making a move or that has any needs that they could fill, real estate needs. And we'll get into that in future sessions, but that's something I really want you to think about. Now, here's something else. Um, when I'm teaching, I'm show people that there is a lot of business out there that they could get. So think about this for a second. Of all the people that you know, and if you're new to real estate, this will work for you. But if you've been established in real estate for a while, this would be tougher. But when you ask somebody how many people do they know that moved in the last year, you're going to get a number between 3 and 7. And so you're brand new to real estate. Let's say you're just taking your exams right now, and you think about all the people that you know that moved in the last 1 year, in the last calendar year, 365 days. You'll probably be able to think about between 3 and 7. That's the average. I've only ever had one person that could only name two, but I imagine if I gave them a few more minutes, they could have thought of somebody else. So with that being said, if you can name 3 people that moved last year, then that would suggest going forward, you will also be able to name 3 people that are going to move. So if you've got a database of 100 people and you can name 3 people that are going to move in the next year, then all 100 people can name 3 people that are about to move in the next year. So that's 300 transactions that are about to happen from your 100-person database in the next calendar year. And if you do a fairly decent job and really stay in touch with your people and asking for business and reaching out to your people in your database, if you do 10% of that, that's 30 transactions. And 30 transactions is a lot of business. And regardless of where you are, depending on your commission, where you work, that can be quite a sum of money. So that's a realtor working very hard, really staying in touch with their database. 30 transactions, that's pretty good. And if you're brand new, 30 transactions, that's an excellent start. So you really want to pay attention to that. And you know the database, as I've said in the past, I want you to, if you're brand new, you should be thinking about a free solution, Microsoft Outlook or Gmail. Those are free solutions that you can use, and they are very good. Later on, when you establish yourself, you've got a few deals coming in. Maybe 1 year into the business, 6 months, 1 year into the business. Maybe you want to look at a paid solution for actual computer program that helps you keep in touch with your contacts and stay aware of who you've talked to and who you haven't talked to for some time. But Microsoft Outlook and Google contacts, Google Mail with the Google Calendar. That's what I use right now, and I find that fantastic for me. As I make an entry into my calendar out in the field, it goes straight into my contacts and goes straight onto my calendar on my laptop. I do use an iPhone, but it works, with any mobile device. So that's something you want to be aware of with contact management systems. But if you're new, I prefer you use a free solution. That way you can spend your money on marketing going forward. I would rather you put your money there than into a contact management system when a couple of free ones are available to you, and they're very, very good. This is the Real Estate Career Mentor Podcast with Marty Green, episode 4. That's a lot of work. That's staying in touch with 30 transactions. That is what's possible. So you want to be really aware of taking away from the stuff that you're going to give on out. We've got this database. What do we have to know about each entry going? Hey everyone, welcome once again to the Real Estate Career Mentor Podcast. I'm Marty Green, and I'm here to deliver valuable information to you each and every session to help with your real estate business. We need their name. Doesn't matter if you're a new agent or have been at it a while, there's always something we can do to take us to the next level in our real estate career. And today, I'm talking about databases and how to build them and what to be looking out for. And later in the quick tip, I've got a great application for you. If you're a Mac and a PC user, you're going to really love this. Just stick around and let's get to it. Their name, cell phone, home phone number, address, email. But really, I would suggest to you, and through the books that I've read over the years. Okay, how's everyone doing out there? To 20, 21. I have been sick as a dog every single entire month of February. Let's take a few seconds. Oh my goodness, I've never been this sick in my life. Not this long. What could you think about? You've just met somebody, maybe you've had 3 days here and there, maybe a week, usually a week when I get a cold throughout the winter. But I have not been sick like this questions, and they're sharing. I was down and out their life, and started with my nose, then moved into my lungs, down into my throat, coughing all the time. I may cough during this podcast, but it's been far too long, and they didn't want to wait any longer. So here we are. We got to get this out, keep this thing rolling, keep the momentum. A few questions, and let's just go for it. Have some kids. Today we're talking about databases. Something really, really important in your real estate career, if not the most important thing that down the road you're focusing on. And I would suggest you be focusing on this daily. I won't even say your database. What does this mean to you? Deepen the relationship. This is your life. Attention to things that are going on in their a list of relationships that you have in your real estate career, or the spouse has a birthday coming up and you thrives them depending on how well you keep in touch with your clients. How the relationship that's exactly what your database is. My realtor, it's a list of relationships, it's a list of clients, and it's really important. So now, if you're just getting started. Some other things you might want to. How do you build a database? What do I put in the database? Have a lot of pets. What kind of information do I need on my clients? Pets are very important to families. So maybe they have a dog. These are questions that really we're going to answer these. And these are really important things to be thinking about. Or but before we do that, let's talk about referrals a second, because at the end of the day, that's the importance of our database. Not just we're going into our database, looking maybe the anniversary, looking to contact people. And hopefully they have realtors people they've been talking to that can refer. We need help with lead generation. Now, wait a second. Don't make the mistake I made early on my career. And what I started to do, I thought, well, a referral is, I sell something to somebody today, and 3 years later they're ready to move again. And so they call me agent. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about June. I have a relationship with you, August, and you were just at a party, so I had those printed all out. Christmas holiday. Here you go. Here's an excuse, something like that, and you say you were having a personal note to pick up the phone to go see these switch to real estate, a year since you brought up my name, and they probably don't even realize that. You're thinking about new homeowner, things move really quickly. You should talk to my agent Marty. He's really great. Usually they're like, wow, I can't believe this is what I'm talking about with your database. Well, wouldn't it be great if our realtor keep in contact with your coming on entries in your database as much as you can, picking up the phone and saying congratulations, you've been in your house a year now, and maybe I can come by and take a look at call our clients, that kind of thing. in touch and
So
really,
you're looking for
you know,
20,
deepen
20
the relationship
plus
with our
items
clients
for
because
each entry
if all
into
we
your
have
database.
is just
So
business
there's a
cards and we
few
just put it into a
that
database,
you can think about. And
if you spend a few
it
minutes,
really
you
limits
probably
us
could
to
write down
how we
quite
can
a few.
contact these people. We don't have a
Obviously,
really good relationship
what
with
do
them
people
that way. If
enjoy?
that's all
If
we
you
think
meet
of them
somebody
as
and
just
you're
a
always
business
talking
card
about
and a
sports
contact
teams
with that person, well, then
the
you should put
technology
that
is
into
moving
your
very
database.
quickly,
Have
and
an
if you
entry.
think
This
about
person is
how much
a
email you
Knicks
get,
fan or a
are
Cubs
you going to
fan or,
respond like you
New
did
York
10,
Rangers
15
fan
years
or
ago
Toronto
to
Maple Leafs
email?
fan?
When we used to get email,
And maybe there's
10,
an
15 years
opportunity in
ago,
the future when you
with
come
offers,
across,
the click-through rate, the
I know
response
tickets are
rate
hard
was
to come
much,
across, but
much
maybe
higher.
there's something that comes up.
But today that
Fan
doesn't work
Appreciation
anymore.
Day, and you send them a
anywhere
couple
near
tickets to that event.
the way it used to
Just
10 years ago.
imagine how
So we need to
great
deepen
they're
those
gonna think the
relationships. We
realtor
need
is
to
that thought
bring
about that.
value
So
to those people,
these are
and that's what I'm going to
opportunities,
start with you
and
today.
I don't like to say to
on
market
how do we
to
get
people,
this,
but these
the
are
ball rolling, and
opportunities
it
to
all starts
really
with your
deepen the
database.
relationship.
So
And what happens
what I
when
want
they
you to
get
think about,
a couple of tickets to a home
if you're
show
a realtor
or a
that's been in
VIP
business
event
for quite some
from
time,
you know they're going to be thinking
you
of
should know
ways
your
to repay
percentages
you, and the way
of
you want them to
referral business
repay
that
you
you're
is to
getting from your
mention
database.
to their friends and family about you.
If you've got a
Wow, my
database,
realtor
I'll
just
just
sent
throw
me
some round numbers. But
two
if you've got a
tickets to
database of
the upcoming
100
home
people,
show.
you can
I was
expect
just shocked to get
anywhere.
that from them. It was
If
really
you're doing
great
a
to
good
see
job
them.
keeping in touch,
You
you
know, I
can
had lunch
expect
with
anywhere
them,
from
but they
5
gave me
deals to 15
two
deals
tickets to
throughout
a
the
home show.
year.
So I wonder how I can pay them
From
back.
your
What can I
database,
do
just
to
constantly keeping in
give
touch
back
with
to them?
people and doing
every
certain
time
things,
a conversation
you can
comes up with
expect
real
that
estate,
kind of
they're
return.
going to be thinking about you. You got
The
to see
top
my realtor.
agents
This
out
guy
there,
is incredible.
they
This lady
experience
is so
referral
good.
business, repeat and
I
referral
have a
business
friend that I
anywhere
got
from
in contact
60
with
to 90%.
we had lost touch for
of
a
their
number
business
of years.
throughout the year
And
is coming
the funny
from
thing
their
was,
database.
I said to
from
my
repeat
buddy, I said,
business,
"Listen,
from referral
I'm in real
business.
estate now," and he goes, "Oh,
So with
that's
that
too
in
bad."
mind,
And I said, "Why is that?" And he goes, "Because our
top
realtor is
producers,
awesome. You're never going to
the
be
top
our realtor.
producers I've
amazing. She
engaged
brings
with
cookies.
will share with me
every quarter
that,
to us. You know, the spring
cookies, summer cookies,
repeat and referral
my
business
two
throughout the
kids
year
love her,
accounts
and
for
much
and I
higher
thought,
than
wow,
60%,
closer
she's
to
bringing
90,
cookies to
you know,
all her
between 80 and
clients
90%.
every
So the
month.
business
Good
that
for
they're
her.
doing throughout the year,
It's working because we were
most
good
of it
friends
is
years
repeat and
ago,
referral, and
he's
that's
just
coming
told me I'll
from
never be
their
his realtor
database.
because
They're
I'm not going to be able to
very
beat
good
this
at staying in
lady
touch with
who,
their past
you know,
clients. They're very
brings
good at
cookies
staying in
to
touch with the family.
people in their
every
database. Maybe
quarter,
they
and they're
haven't
waiting
done
for, and they love
business
to see
with
certain
her.
people, but
that's somebody doing a
those
really
people refer them
great
all
job,
the time.
and
They have
of
a
course
great
for the guys
relationship
out there,
with them.
way to your heart
And
is through
that's
your
the way you got to
stomach,
think
and,
about your database. Maybe you have
that's a
people in your
great,
database that are never
technique
going to
that you can
move.
think about.
Maybe
So these are the reasons
they're
you wanna
happy where
have
they are,
20
but they
plus,
know people. So you need to stay in touch with them regularly.
entry in your
constantly,
database. You really want to
ask them for business
the person
and
by
ask them if
asking
they
them
know
a bunch of
anybody that's thinking
questions
about
and
making a move,
finding out as much as you
or
can
that has
about
any
them
needs. So
that they
later
could
on,
fill
you can
real estate
you
needs.
can help them, or you can bring
we'll get
value
into
to
that
them,
in future
and
sessions.
It doesn't have
but
to be real estate.
that's something I
related
really
value.
want you to think
Just
about.
like I
Now, here's
mentioned,
something
bring in
else. Tickets to a sports game has nothing
when
to
I'm
do with real
teaching,
estate, but holy smokes, does it deepen a relationship? So these are the reasons why you want to have all
people
these
that
there
is a lot of business out there that they could get. So think about this for a second.
A name
of all the people that you know,
so you can send them.
And if you're new to real estate,
this cards,
this will work for you. But if you've been established in real estate,
you want to get a hold of them right away. Maybe there's a deal.
When you ask somebody how many people
they were thinking of
do they
investing,
know that moved in the last year, you're going to get a number between 3 and 7.
Unbelievable property, and I know we were just talking
so
10 days
you're
ago
brand
at
new
a
to real
party,
estate.
and
Let's say you're just taking your
you were
exams
thinking
right
about
now,
getting into
and you
investing.
think about all the
Why don't
people
you come
that
and
you
take a look?
know
So
that moved in
these
the
are
last
opportunities
1 year, in the last
for
calendar
you
year,
to engage your
365
database.
days.
And as your
You'll
database
probably
grows,
be able to think about
you're going
between
to
3 and
generate
7.
a lot of
That's the
business
average.
from
I've only
them.
ever
So
had one
if you can imagine
person that could
100
only
people,
name
and
2.
you're
But
bringing
I
in 5
imagine
to
if I
15
gave them
deals
a
per
few
year
more
just with
minutes, they
100
could
people.
have thought of somebody else. So
as your database
with that
grows,
being said, if you can
grow
name 3
significantly.
people that moved
And
last year,
the best
then
thing about
that would suggest
referral
going
business
forward,
is
you
the
will
trust
also be able to
component
name
is
3
already
people
built
that are
in.
going to move.
Often,
So,
I'm teaching a class, and I ask
if you've got a
I ask the
database of
class,
100
what
people
lead
and you
generation
can
is the
name
best?
3
And they
people
will
that are going to
always
move
say, or very
in the
often
next
say,
year,
referral
then
business.
all 100
And I say,
people can
why?
name 3
And they
people
say,
that are about
because
to
they
move in the
already
next year. So
trust
that's
me.
300 transactions that
They've
are
only
about to
made one call
happen
to a realtor, so
from
I'm
your
going away 500 person database in the next calendar year. And if you do a fairly decent job,
get a referral, it is a
really
big
stay in
deal, and
touch
it
with your
needs to be
people and asking for
acknowledged
business and
straight away. So,
reaching
for
out
the
to your
ladies out
people in your
there,
database.
when you're
If you
going
do
to get your hair
10%
done
of
and
that,
you're
that's
looking for a
30
new place,
transactions.
I find
And
it
30 transactions is a lot of
amazing
business.
that it's almost
And
100%.
regardless of where you are,
unless they've been referred there,
depending on your
go
commission
see
where you
Alice,
where
she
you
does
work, that can
amazing
be
hair.
quite a sum
So
of
it's because it's
money.
such a big
So,
deal for them.
that's
letting somebody work on
a
their
realtor
hair,
working
they
very
need to
hard.
know, really
That
staying in
has
touch
to come
with
from
their
a
database.
referral.
30
Same thing with the
transactions,
guys, especially with
that's
our
pretty good.
cars.
And if you're
and
brand new,
mechanics,
30 transactions,
that's
I'm
an excellent
I need
start.
some work done, but I
So,
don't know anybody in this area.
you
And
want to
the first thing I'm going to
really
do is
want to
call
pay
one of my
attention to
buddies
that.
in that area,
And
or somebody I work with, and say, who do you take
you
your
know,
car to? Who can I
the
trust?
database,
Well, the same thing
as I've
happens in
said
real estate.
in the past,
You're
I
going to
want
sell
you
the biggest
to,
asset that you have.
if you're
You're
brand
going to
new,
want to
you
get
should
some
be
feedback.
thinking about a free
It's very rare that
solution,
you just jump
Microsoft
online and
Outlook,
pick a realtor,
or
but
Gmail.
it does happen.
But those are free solutions
most
that you
of the
can
time,
use, and
it's going to come from a
they are
referral
very
source.
good.
And
later
I'm
on,
planning a
when
trip
you
for vacation
establish
this year,
yourself, you've got a
and,
few deals coming
before we book the hotels,
maybe,
I go
1 year
online
into
and
the
check the
business,
reviews, because
6
I'm
months, 1 year into the
looking
business,
for-
maybe you
those
want
are
to look at a
referrals.
paid
Those are people
solution.
saying, you know what, this is a
for
great
actual,
hotel, but the customer service
computer
isn't
program
great.
that helps
Or,
you.
don't worry,
keep in
if
touch
you're
with
staying
your
at this
contacts
hotel,
and-
you're
and
going to have a
stay,
great time. They take care of everything, and they have a pool,
aware
and,
of who you've talked to and who you
all
haven't
kinds
talked
of
to
amenities
for some time.
These are the kinds of
But
things.
Microsoft
I
Outlook
want to be
and
100% sure when I
Google,
make a decision.
contacts,
if they've
Google
got
Mail,
one or
with the
two bad
Google
reviews,
Calendar.
that's
That's what
not so
I
bad,
use
but
right
if
now, and I
if
find
it's
that
constantly
fantastic.
online,
For
ten
me,
bad
as I
reviews in a
make
row,
an entry
then
into
I'm gonna
my
think twice
calendar
about
out
going
in
to
the
that
field,
hotel. I'm
it
gonna
goes
go to a
straight
different
into my
place.
contacts.
So this is
and goes
the
straight
kind
onto
of
my
thing that you
calendar
want
on
to
my
think about with your
laptop.
database. So
I do use an iPhone,
getting a
but
lot of
it
information
works,
on
with
each
any
entry
mobile device.
really will help
So that's
you
something
down the road.
you want to
as
be aware of
stay in
with
contact
contact management
and now you have
systems. But
reasons.
if
And
you're
I'm going to
new,
get
I
into
prefer you
systems
use
later
a
on,
free
but now you'll
solution.
have
That
a
way you
reason
can
to
spend
stay
your
in
money
contact regularly
on marketing.
and
Going
go
forward, I'd
see
rather
your
you put your
clients
money
or
there
make
than
phone
into
calls to your clients.
a contact management
they're-
system when a couple
They're
of free
there. You
ones are
have the
available
information.
to you,
You've
and
been
they're
asking
very,
them
very
lots of
good.
questions. You've been taking them out or wherever you met
so
them, and now
10%.
it's time
That's
to get in contact with them.
that's a
Now
lot
you
of
have
work.
an
That's staying in
excuse. You can
touch. But
drop by and say,
30
okay, you know what?
That is what's
I remembered you
possible.
said it was.
So you want to.
This was the
you
time
wanna
you got
be,
your dog, your puppy,
really aware,
and I just
and
wanted
think
to
about ways you can stay in
send a
touch
little
with your
note
people.
over
Now,
saying, "Oh, congratulations, happy birthday!"
we've got
to your
this
puppy.
database. What do we
it's
know?
been 1
have to
year,
know
or
about
you've
each
just
entry
moved into
going
your
into the
home.
database?
I'd love to drop by.
Obviously,
and,
I've got a gift for you, and I'd love to drop by and see you.
Things we know about it.
And
person
while we're on
maybe
it,
we've just met them.
if you do get a referral, don't
obviously
make
we
the
need their
mistake
name,
that I made,
and we need some way of
when I
contacting
didn't
them, whether
acknowledge
it's
the
email
referral
right away. So
their
I
name
get an
and
email,
cell phone number, maybe their name and
from
address,
somebody I've done business with in the
these
past,
kinds
and
of
they
things.
say,
But
this person is
how
looking
many
to
things do we
make a move,
really
you should
need
get in
to
touch
know?
with her?
So
what
I
kind of
respond to the email.
what kind of
thank you
things should
very
we
much.
really be thinking
I don't
about
acknowledge the
with
email
each entry?
properly.
So
I mean,
you've got
saying
5
thank
there:
you very much
name,
in an email,
cell phone, home
is
phone
one
number,
thing, but
address.
what I should have
email.
done was
But
quickly
really, I would
written a
suggest to
thank you
you,
note
and maybe
through
put
the books that I've read,
$5 or $10
over the years,
or even
the
a
number
coupon
should
to
be
a
closer to
restaurant
20,
to really
21
acknowledge
things that you should
the
know
referral.
about
So
every
what
single
happens
entry
is
in your database.
I go
Let's
and
take
work
a
with
few
that
seconds and think
new
about
lady.
what could
and,
be.
I'm with
What could
her
you
for
think
a
about?
month and a half. We
You've just
purchased
met
a home.
somebody. Maybe you've had a
We
good
go firm on the
conversation.
home,
Maybe you're at a
and
party or an open
a few
house,
months
and you've
later,
spent
it
15
closes.
minutes talking with
So
them.
then I finally
and
get
you're asking them
paid.
a bunch of questions,
And then
they're
I
sharing
acknowledge the
little
referral by
bits about
sending
their
a nice
life,
gift
and
certificate to
maybe
a
they have a
restaurant in
need for
town.
real estate. So
I
if
would
you're
suggest to
listening
you that's not
intently,
the way to do it. The way
you're picking
I
up
should
on
have
other
done it
things,
was
and this is what you need to
automatically
consider.
sent
So
a thank you
you've just
note,
met
not
them,
just
they're
an
by
email,
themselves, but they
proper
mentioned
thank
they're
you note to their
married. So
address
obviously
with,
there's a spouse,
a gift
spouse's name,
certificate,
and then you've asked
maybe a
few
small amount,
questions, and you
if you're
realize
just
they
getting
have some
started,
kids.
$5, $10, no
So
big deal.
getting
To
the
a
kids'
coffee
names,
shop
you
or
want this all in your
a small
database,
restaurant.
because what this is going to
And
do
then if
for
it
you
closes later
is
on, you can
down the road
take them out
you're
for,
going to
for
be able to
dinner.
market
But
to
the
them.
reason you want to do it that way is
there's a
I
lot of
won't even say
months going
market to
by,
them.
and
You'll be
I
able to
wasn't
deepen
keeping
the
in touch with the
relationship
person that sent me
by
the referral. I
paying
mean, I sent
attention
them
to
an
things that
email,
are going on in
and then they were
their
wondering to
lives.
themselves, "Oh, I
So
wonder how
if
it's
they've
going
got
on
a
with
birthday
my
coming
friend.
up,
Is he
or
has
the
he sold
spouse
or
has a birthday
something?
coming up, and
You
you
know, he
send
hasn't been keeping in
them
touch with me."
a birthday
And
card,
that's not the
just
way to
think of
run
how the
your business
relationship
if
is
you
going to
can
be
be
deepened.
wow, my
Constantly
realtor just
in
sent
touch with your
a
clients and
birthday
your
card to my
database, and
spouse. How
it would have
fantastic
been
is that
so easy to
person?
pick up the
So
phone or go see
these are
my buddy and
things.
say, "Listen,
Some other
thank you
things you
so
might
much
want
again
to
for that
think
referral. It's been
about.
going really
Pets.
well.
We haven't
People
found
have
a
a lot of
place yet,
pets
but I'm
these
sure
days, and
we're very close. Or
we've put
pets
in
are
a
very
couple
important
of
to
offers,
families, and we've
so
just
maybe they
secured the
have
place. So
a
now that
dog that
person
the kids are
knows
really
how
close
to,
to,
and
and
you
going,
happen to
and
know the
they'll be
name of the dog,
confident
or
to
you know
refer me
when the
again.
So what if
the anniversary or the birthday of the dog,
referral opportunity came
anniversaries
up
I just touched on
there,
4 months.
my friend doesn't know how the deal's going. I haven't been
anniversary,
but maybe the anniversary
acknowledge the
of when you
referral. I
moved
just
them
said
in.
thank you in an email.
Years ago,
Listen,
I had
anybody can send an
realtors
email
coming
to
me
me
saying,
saying,
and we do
we
too
need help
much
with
of
lead
that.
generation.
That's
And I said,
not
wait a second,
the
you guys are
proper
all
way to
busy agents.
acknowledge,
And what I started to do for my office,
I mean,
I
that
printed
that
out
deal was
all the
was over
transactions
$10,000
that
commission
happened
to me
the
and all
the
I did was
previous
send
year.
a quick little email.
Agent A
That's
had
not
3
the proper way
closings
to acknowledge
in June,
people,
and then 1
deepen
closing in
relationships.
August, and then
the
another
proper way is
closing in
to
September. So I
take
had
a
those
few
printed all
moments,
out and said, here you
it takes
go.
me a
Here's an
minute to write a
excuse
personal
to
note.
send.
I already had his address because I just
personal
sold
note
him.
to
I
pick
sold
up his
his house
phone
and
to
bought his
go
new
see
one, so I
these
knew
clients.
exactly
It's
where
been
he
a
lived.
year since they've
And
moved
he's a
into their
really
home,
good referral
and they probably
source
don't
to
even
me.
realize it. As a new
Once again,
homeowner, things
acknowledging
move really quickly.
referrals,
And
really
really
usually
important.
they're like, wow, I can't believe we've
I
been
give
here a year
referrals.
already.
Well, wouldn't it be great if our realtor
I get calls all
acknowledged
the time
that
because
by
I know
coming
so
on
many people
coming
that are
on
like,
over
"Who can
and
I use
bringing
over here
a small gift,
do you know anybody over there?"
picking up the phone and
And,
saying, "Congratulations,
often
you've been
I'll
in your
suggest
house
somebody,
a
and
year now. And maybe I could
get
come
a
by and take a look at
coffee
what
shop
you've done
card
with the place,
in
that
the
kind of
mail.
thing." And
So
you're looking
just
for 20,
that
20
little
plus
thing,
items for
it's
each
$5.
entry into your database.
It's not a big deal,
So
but
there's
it
a
really
few
shows me that they
that you
they
can think about it.
acknowledge
If
me.
you
They
spend a few
really
minutes, you
appreciate
probably
me
could write
sending them a
down quite a
referral.
few.
Whether it pans out or not,
Obviously,
is
what
irrelevant.
do people enjoy?
You
If you
have to
meet somebody and
acknowledge your referral.
you're always
So,
talking about sports
again,
teams. With that person,
you've got a lot of items in your
put that
database.
into your database.
You have a lot of
an
fields.
entry.
You
This
want- you
person
don't
is
want
just
a
a
name,
Knicks
a salad,
fan,
or
or
a
that's
Cubs
not
fan,
good enough.
or
You
need
New York
to stay in
Rangers
touch
fan
with
or
these
Toronto Maple
people.
Leafs fan, and maybe there's an
having all
opportunity in
these
the future when you
opportunities
come
to get in
across
contact with them is
you know,
really, really
I know
important. So
tickets are hard to come
at
across,
least
but maybe
20
there's something
items
that comes
per
up.
person. That's what I'm
Fan
recommending.
Appreciation Day, and you send them a couple tickets to that event.
It takes time to build that up.
Just imagine how
having
great they're going to
conversations
think
with
their
your
realtor
entire
is that
database.
thought about that.
I would
So
suggest
these
every
are
90 days.
opportunities, and I don't like to say to market to people, but these are opportunities to really deepen the relationship. And what happens when they get a couple of tickets to a home show or a VIP event?
Can get it
from
into
you.
your database,
And they're going to be thinking
that
of
gives
ways
you
to
a base
repay
to
you,
work from.
and the way you want them to
So
repay you is
that's
to mention
my
to their
info on
friends and
databases,
family about you.
and
Wow, my realtor
let's,
just sent me
I want to talk about
2 tickets to
take
the
some time
upcoming
to talk
home
about the
show.
quick tips. So let's
I
get
was
into
just
that
shocked
now.
to get that from them. It was really great to see them. I had lunch with them, and they gave me 2 tickets to a home show. So
today's quick tip
back.
is
What can I do
a
to
really great
give
program,
back to them?
and it's called Dropbox.
Every time a conversation comes
I know
up
a
with
lot
real
of people
estate, they're
know
going
about
to be
it already,
thinking about
but
you. Got to see my
I
realtor
was just at a training course.
This lady is
yesterday,
so good.
in fact, and
I talked about Dropbox.
I have a friend that I got
my
in contact
had
with.
never heard of it. And I said,
"Oh,
this
lost
thing
touch
is
for
amazing."
a
So
number
what
of
it
years.
is
The
you go
funny
to
thing was,
Dropbox.com.
I said to my buddy, I said, "Listen,
I'll put
I'm
that
in real
in the
estate
show
now." And he
notes
goes,
for
"Oh,
this episode on my
that's too
website.
bad." And I said, "Why is that?" And he
realestatecreative.com.
goes,
If you go
"Because
there,
our realtor is
you'll
awesome. You're
see
never
it.
going to be our
Click on
realtor.
podcasts
She's
at the
amazing.
amazing. She
And it'll
brings
show you all the
cookies
different podcasts
every
So
quarter.
I'll put it in
to
the
us,
show notes.
spring cookies,
Dropbox.com.
summer cookies.
So when you
my 2 kids love
when
her,
you go there and you
and,
download
the
and
program,
I
it
thought,
puts,
wow,
she's
a
if
folder
she's
called
bringing
Dropbox
cookies to all
either
her
on your
clients
desktop
every 3
if you're
months.
using
Good for her.
Explorer, I have it in
And
there.
it's working because we were good
and
friends years ago.
what I'm able to do
and he's just
is
told me I'll
share
never be his
any
realtor
files
because I'm
in
not
a
going to be able to
folder
beat this lady
with anybody I like.
who,
So
here's an example.
brings cookies to
just
to
between
the
myself.
family
I created a
every
folder,
quarter,
and they're
called
waiting
Marty,
for her, and they love
and
to see
because
her.
I'm
That's
somebody
somebody
doing
doing
a
a Mac
really
about a year ago.
great job, and
of course, for the guys out there,
big
a way
PC
to your
guy
heart is
before,
through your stomach.
having
and,
a tech
and
background.
That's a
really,
great
I use
technique that you can
PCs a
think
lot.
about.
So
And
these
I've
are
just
the
switched over
reasons
to
you wanna
Mac.
have 20
and,
plus.
sharing files. I don't want to
fields
be
for
carrying a
each
USB
entry in your database. You really want to
stick
get to
around with
know
me all the
person
time
by
or,
asking them a bunch
what
of
I was doing is
questions
moving
and
files up to the
finding
internet
out
so
as
I can
much
bring
as you
them
can
down
about
on the
them.
Mac. But
So
now
with
later
Dropbox,
on,
I just
you
create a
can
folder
you
called
can help
Marty,
them, or you can bring
and
value
it
to them.
shares
and
using
it
your
doesn't have to
email,
be real
and
estate
any file I
related
put in
value.
there,
You can
I just
look
like I
on my
mentioned,
other
bringing
screen, and boom,
tickets
the
to a
file
sports
appears,
game
and
has
I can
nothing to
drag
do
it
with real
onto
estate.
my Mac and do
Holy
whatever I
smokes,
want
does it
and
share
deepen a
back and forth.
relationship. Now,
So these are the reasons
I
why
had
you
met
want
a
to have all
video
these,
entries into your database.
person who does
videos.
once again,
a
a name and an address, so you can send them thank you notes or happy birthday
them up and makes
cards,
them look really pretty and stuff like
Merry
that
Christmas,
for YouTube,
that type of thing.
cell
phone, you want to
I'm
get a hold of him right away. Maybe there's a deal,
or
maybe they
just
mentioned
drag the file.
there. We'll do a
of
shared
investing,
Dropbox,
and you want to
any
get a
file
hold
you
of it
put
right away.
there,
I can clean it up, and
wow, I came across this
put all
unbelievable
your information
property
on there.
I know
for
we
you.
were
I
just
thought,
talking
wow,
10
this
days
is
ago
really
at a party,
powerful.
and you
So
mentioned
just imagine
you were thinking about
in
getting
real
into
estate
investing.
you're
Why don't
doing
you come and
deals
take a look? So
consistently
these are
and
opportunities
you don't want to have to
for you
get
to
the deal and
engage your
fax it
database.
and
To the
as
lawyer,
your database
you could
grows,
set up a shared account
you're
with your
going
lawyer
to
and
generate
as
a
you're
lot of
doing
business
deals, you're
from
dropping them into your
So
Dropbox.
if you can
that
imagine
only you
100
and your
people
lawyer
and
can
you're bringing
see.
in 5
And
to
now your
15
lawyer is
deals
able to
per
click
year
on
just
to
with
the
100
Dropbox on
people,
his computer, and there's the files
as your database
straight for
grows,
them. So
that
there's an
can
application
grow significantly.
there's
And
the
how you
best
can
thing
use the
about
application for
referral
yourself.
business. So
So
same
is
thing
the trust
with family
component is
members. You've got
already
a bunch of
built in.
pictures you've just
Often,
taken.
I'm
And,
teaching a class,
a
and
family member wants to
ask
see
the
the
class,
pictures. You set up a
what
Dropbox,
lead generation
use
is
their
the
email,
best,
and now you're able to share it with them.
they can just
or
go into the
very often
Dropbox
say referral business
anytime they want.
And I say
and,
why?
and
they
can
say
see
because
and
they already
it's very
trust
quick.
me.
So when I
Share a file with
they've
myself.
only made one call to a realtor
from my
so
PC
I'm
to my
going over
Mac
to list their house. I'm not
only
competing with
seconds.
anybody.
So rather than
when you
email myself,
get a
USB
referral, it is a
and
big
copy the
deal,
files
and it
over
needs to
and
be
then copy them
acknowledged
onto my new hard
straight
drive.
away.
I just
So
drop them into a
for
folder.
the ladies out there,
and
I'm done. And
when
it's
you're
just
going to
such
get
a
your
great-
hair done and you're
such a
looking for a
great
new
tool, and
place,
I think
I find
you'll
it
really enjoy it. So
head over to
amazing that
Dropbox.com.
it's
There's
almost
a video
100%.
there.
They won't go to a new
Explains
place
it much
unless
better
they've
than
been
I do.
referred there.
How it
Go
works,
see
but I think you're going to
Alice.
find this
She does
invaluable.
amazing hair.
Even if you're only using
And,
one
so
laptop, there's
it's
so many
because it's such a
opportunities where
big
you
deal
want to
for
share
them.
files.
Letting somebody
from
work
your
on
phone
their
to
hair,
your
they need to
laptop
know
to somebody you just
that
met.
has to come from
So
a
if you've got
referral.
Same
Some
thing with the
kind of,
guys, especially with our
files
cars
on
and
your
mechanics.
phone you want to share.
That's how I use it as well.
I
just
need some
throw
work
them
done, but
the
I
Dropbox
don't know
next to my
anybody in
phone,
this
and I'm
area
able
to
the
share
first thing I'm going to
folder
do is
files
call one of
there
my
as well.
buddies in
So,
that area, or somebody
really
I
great
work with,
tool,
say,
and
"Who do you
I
take your car to.
I
Who
think
can
you'll
I-
enjoy it.
who can
So
I trust?"
Dropbox.com,
Well,
if
the
you want to
same
check
thing
out the
happens
show
in real
notes,
estate.
I'll have it
You're
there
going to sell the
as well.
biggest asset that you have.
And
You're
that's
gonna
it
wanna
for
get some
today.
feedback.
So what I want to
very
do
rare
now
to
is
just
give
jump online
a
and pick
quick
a
shout
realtor.
out.
But it does happen.
To
you know,
Ali Ahmed
most
from
of the
Remax
time,
Legacy in
it's gonna
Mississauga,
come from a
Ontario.
referral source.
He gave me a great
And,
review on
I'm planning a trip
iTunes,
for
and I
vacation
really
this
appreciate
year,
that.
and,
So,
before
if
we
you
book the
want
hotels,
to
we go online
hear your
and
name
check
in the
the
podcast,
reviews,
why not
because
head over
I'm
to
looking
iTunes
for-
and
those are
look
referrals.
up
Those are
Real
people
Estate
saying,
Career Mentor
"You know
podcast.
what, this is a great hotel,
and leave a
but the
review
customer
there. I
service
would really
isn't great."
appreciate it.
Or,
And
don't
I'll
worry,
give you a
if
shout
you're
out
staying at this
on
hotel,
next
you're going to have a
podcast.
great time. They take care of everything.
So until
They have
next
a
time,
pool and
if you want
all
to check out
kinds of amenities.
the show notes,
These are the kinds of things,
realestatecareermentor.com.
I want
If
to
you
be
would like to email me, it's
sure when I
Marty
make
at
a decision.
realestatecareermentor.com.
And if they've got
And until
one or
next
two bad
time,
reviews, that's not so bad. But if
we'll see you soon.
If it's constantly online, 10 bad reviews in a row, then I'm going to think twice about going to that hotel. I'm going to go to a different place. So this is the kind of thing that you want to think about with your database. So getting a lot of information on each entry really will help you down the road as you stay in contact. And now you have reasons, and I'm going to get into systems later on, but now you'll have a reason to stay in contact regularly and, go see your clients or make phone calls to your clients. They're there. You have the information. You've been asking them lots of questions. You've been taking them out or wherever you met them. And now it's time to get in contact with them. Now you have an excuse. You can drop by and say, okay, you know what? I remembered you said it was this was the time you got your dog, your puppy, and I just wanted to send a little note over saying, oh, congratulations, happy birthday to your puppy. It's been 1 year, or you've just moved into your home. I'd love to drop by and I've got a gift for you and I'd love to drop by and see you, that kind of thing. And while we're on it, if you do get a referral, don't make the mistake that I made when I didn't acknowledge the referral right away. So I get an email from somebody I've done business with in the past, and they say, this person is looking to make a move. You should get in touch with her. And so I respond to the email, oh, thank you very much. But I don't acknowledge the email properly. I mean, saying thank you very much in an email is one thing, but what I should have done was quickly written a thank you note and maybe put a $5 or $10 or even a coupon to a restaurant to really acknowledge the referral. So what happens is I go and work with that new lady, and I'm with her for a month and a half. We purchase a home, we go firm on the home, and then a few months later it closes. So then I finally get paid, and then I acknowledge the referral by sending a nice gift certificate to a restaurant in town. I would suggest to you that's not the way to do it. The way I should have done it was automatically sent a thank you note, not just an email, a proper thank you note to their address with, a gift certificate, maybe a smaller amount. If you're just getting started, $5, $10, no big deal, to a coffee shop or a small restaurant. And then if it closes later on, you can, take them out for dinner. But the reason you want to do it that way is there's a lot of months going by, and I wasn't keeping in touch with the person that sent me the referral. I mean, I sent them an email, and then they're wondering to themselves, "Oh, I wonder how it's going on with my friend. Has he sold or something? He hasn't been keeping in touch with me." And that's not the way to run your business. You should be constantly in touch with your clients in your database. And it would have been so easy to pick up the phone or go see my buddy and say, "Listen, thank you so much again for that referral. It's been going really well. We haven't found the place yet, but I'm sure we're very close." Or we've put in a couple of offers and we've just secured the place. So now that person knows how the deal's going, and they'll be confident to refer me again. So what if, a referral opportunity came up in those first 4 months? My friend doesn't know how the deal's going. I haven't been staying in touch, and I didn't really acknowledge the referral. I just said thank you in an email. Listen, anybody can send an email these days, and we do too much of that. That's not the proper way to acknowledge somebody doing such a great thing. I mean, that deal was over $10,000 commission to me, and all I did was send a quick little email. That's not the proper way to acknowledge people and deepen relationships. The proper way is to take a few moments. It takes me a minute to write a personal note. And I already had his address because I just sold him. I sold his house and bought his new one, so I knew exactly where he lived. And he's a really good referral source to me. So once again, acknowledging referrals really, really important. And I give referrals throughout the year. I get calls all the time because I know so many people, and they're like, "Who can I use over here?" Or, "Do you know anybody over there?" And often I'll suggest somebody, and I get a $5 coffee shop card in the mail, and that just that little thing. It's $5. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it really shows me that they acknowledge me. They really appreciate me sending them a referral. Whether it pans out or not is irrelevant. You have to acknowledge your referrals. So again, you've got a lot of items in your database. You have a lot of fields. You don't want just a name and a cell and a name. That's not good enough. We need to stay in touch with these people, and having all these opportunities to get in contact with them is really, really important. So at least 20 items per person. That's what I'm recommending. Um, you know, it takes time to build that up, but you should be having conversations with your entire database. I would suggest every 90 days. And, like I said, as we get into systems, I'm going to share with you how I do that. But those are the things you want to be thinking about. Get as much information on each client as you can, get it into your database, and that gives you a base to work from. So that's my info on databases, and I want to take some time and talk about the quick tips. So let's get into that now. So today's quick tip is a really great program, and it's called Dropbox. And I know a lot of people know about it already, but I was just at a training course yesterday, in fact, and I talked about Dropbox, and my table had never heard of it, and I said, "Oh, this thing is amazing." So what it is you go to Dropbox.com, and I'll put that in the show notes for this episode on my website, realestatecareermentor.com. If you go there, you'll see it. Click on podcasts at the top, and it'll show you all the different podcasts. So I'll put it in the show notes, Dropbox.com. So when you go there and you download the program, it puts a folder called Dropbox either on your desktop or if you're using Explorer, I have it in there. And what I'm able to do is share any files in a folder with anybody I like. So here's an example. Just between myself, I created a folder, called Marty, and because I've switched over to a Mac about a year ago. I was a real big PC guy before, having a tech background. I really use PCs a lot, but I've just switched over to Mac, and sharing files. I don't want to be carrying a USB stick around with me all the time, or what I was doing is moving files up to the internet so I could bring them down on the Mac. But now with Dropbox, I just create a folder called Marty, and it shares using your email. And any file I put in there, I just look on my other screen, and boom, the file appears, and I can drag it onto my Mac and do whatever I want and share it back and forth. Now, I had met a person who does videos, you know, video content and cleans them up and makes them look really pretty and stuff like that for YouTube. And I'm thinking about working with him, and he said, well, why don't you just drag the file in there? We'll do a shared Dropbox, and any file you put there, I can clean it up and put all your information on there for you. And I thought, wow, this is really powerful. So just imagine in real estate, you're doing deals consistently, and you don't want to have to get the deal and fax it to the lawyer. You could set up a shared account with your lawyer, and as you're doing deals, you're dropping them into your Dropbox that only you and your lawyer can see. And now your lawyer is able to click on the Dropbox on his computer, and there's the files straight for them. So there's an application. There's how you can use the application for yourself. So same thing with family members. You've got a bunch of pictures you've just taken, and a family member wants to see the pictures. You set up a Dropbox, use their email, and now you're able to share it with them. They can just go into the Dropbox anytime they want, and they can see. And it's very quick. So when I share a file with myself from my PC to my Mac, it's only seconds. So rather than email myself or get out a USB stick and copy the files over and then copy them onto my new hard drive, I just drop them into a folder, and I'm done. And it's just such a great tool, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So head over to Dropbox.com. There's a video there. Explains it much better than I do how it works, but I think you're going to find this invaluable. Even if you're only using one laptop, there's so many opportunities where you want to share files from your phone to your laptop to somebody you've just met. So if you've got some kind of files on your phone you want to share, that's how I use it as well. I just throw them in the Dropbox connects to my phone, and I'm able to share folder files there as well. So really great tool, and I think you'll enjoy it. So Dropbox.com, if you want to check out the show notes, I'll have it there as well. And that's it for today. So what I want to do now is give a quick shout out to Ali Ahmed from Remax Legacy in Mississauga, Ontario. He gave me a great review on iTunes, and I really appreciate that. So if you want to hear your name in the podcast, why not head over to iTunes and look up Real Estate Career Mentor Podcast and leave a review there. I would really appreciate it. And I'll give you a shout out on the next podcast. So until next time, if you want to check out the show notes, realestatecareermentor.com. If you would like to email me, it's Marty@realestatecareermentor.com. And until next time, we'll see you soon.